but is actually adorable, and she even likes biting straws. After watching the video my friend sent, I searched for more clips online and somehow watched until midnight. When I finally snapped out of it, I regretted it. I shouldn't have opened that recommendation. I had an 8 a.m. class tomorrow. Monday morning, my first class was for my major. Lucy and I were not only in the same department, but the same class. In the past, I would always wait for her at the door. Wherever Lucy sat, I would follow her closely. But today was different. I naturally sat with my friends, with Emma and Kevin beside me. I looked left, then right, and couldn't help sighing. We're actually pretty lucky. All 5 of us chose the same major. Now that I think about it, I'm kind of blessed. Peter opened his textbook and teased me with a smile. The way you're saying that makes it sound like all 4 of us have a crush on you. Please don't flatter yourself. It was just a coincidence. Mike raised his hand to speak. I just genuinely like physics. I couldn't help pouting a little. Then I turned to Emma. Emma looked up and calmly said, "You know this. Physics has always been my best subject since I was a kid." Then I looked at Kevin beside me, and he mumbled with bread in his mouth. My dad forced me to pick it. It really had nothing to do with me. Come on, Jack. I'm the only one who chose it for you. Peter slapped my arm. He kept blinking as he said it. Oh, come on, you picked it for your goddess, I shot back mercilessly with a laugh. Peter had been chasing celebrities since middle school. He picked physics just to go to the same school as his idol. Unfortunately, right after he got into the school, his goddess suddenly left the industry. No, I didn't. That trash woman is not my goddess. My goddess now is Lily, Peter loudly argued back. The moment he said that, the other 4 of us all turned to look at him. Kevin pointed at the 3 of us and asked, "You made a group behind our backs? Whose trash talk is in there?" Emma held his hand down. Stop being so childish. Why would we talk trash? I smiled and promised them we definitely didn't talk trash about you 2. Emma didn't really care. She turned to me and said, Enough, we already knew. Kevin is just picking a fight for fun. I shrugged casually, then smiled and gave him a playful shoulder punch. Thanks for letting me off, boss. We were sitting near the front of the classroom. None of us noticed several pairs of eyes in the back staring at Lucy. Look up front. She actually didn't bring breakfast today. Tom looked toward the front seats. He still hadn't noticed Lucy's face, but her gaze was getting darker. He didn't even wait for you at the door. He just sat with other people. Tom pointed at Emma. There's a girl on her right too. Wait, 2 girls. Amy coughed awkwardly, glanced at Lucy's bad expression, and quickly spoke up for me. There's a guy on the left too. They're close friends. Sitting together is totally normal. But look at him. Look how happy he is. I've never seen him smile at Lucy like that. His eyes are practically squinting shut. All his teeth are showing, and he's even patting that girl's shoulder. Tom kept going, while Amy lowered her head helplessly, silently watching how unreasonable he was being. Where did he pat her shoulder? That was clearly a playful shoulder punch. And besides, it's not the same. You act differently with a girlfriend than with friends. You have to be reserved in front of your girlfriend. Tom patted Amy's shoulder. Lucy, why don't you send him a message and ask? Before, whether he had an 8 a.m. class or not, he brought breakfast every day. If you 2 had a big lecture together, he'd always sit with you. Lucy slowly lifted her eyes. Her cold gaze landed on Tom. Can you shut up? Tom glanced at her and silently closed his mouth. Lucy lowered her head, opened her phone, and tapped into our chat. It was still stuck on last night's conversation. I hadn't said good morning for 3 days. But if I was really mad, then what was last night's goodnight emoji supposed to mean? Lucy gripped her pen tightly and lightly tapped it against the desk, making a crisp sound. Tom knew she was actually angry. Amy opened her own phone, pulled up my chat, and pushed it straight toward Lucy. Why don't you use mine to ask? Back then, to learn more about Lucy, I had added everyone around her. Lucy stared at my profile picture for a long time without moving. Tom sighed helplessly. What are you even hesitating about, or should I ask for you? After saying that, he grabbed the phone and started typing. Why aren't you staying with Lucy today? After typing it, he showed it to her and asked, Is this okay to send? Amy leaned over and looked. I think that's fine. Since Lucy didn't object, Tom took it as silent approval and was about to hit send, but Lucy snatched the phone away. Tom saw the words she had typed, but before he could stop her, Lucy had already sent it. Amy instantly froze, then couldn't help complaining under her breath. Lucy, you're setting me up. Using my account to ask that makes it look like I really care about him. I was seriously listening in class when my phone suddenly buzzed. I glanced under the desk and saw it was from Amy, someone who never messages me in a million years. I tapped in and felt totally confused. Why is she suddenly checking on me? Did something happen? Emma looked down at me and said, Amy messaged me. Peter leaned in, gossiping. Isn't she Lucy's friend? Why would she suddenly message you? The moment Emma heard Lucy's name, she pushed my book toward me. Pay attention to class. I've been managed by her about studying for years, so I was used to it. I casually replied nothing and turned off my phone. Right after the message was sent, Tom kept watching the front. When he saw what Emma did, his brows twitched. What does that girl mean? What does this have to do with her? She doesn't want Jack replying to you. Amy shook her head helplessly. How would I know? Lucy stared at those 3 words for quite a while, then turned off the phone and gave it back to Amy. The 2 of them were about to say something when Lucy tapped her pen on the desk. Shut up and listen. During the 10-minute break, I wanted to nap on the desk, but Peter dragged me into the hallway. I half opened my sleepy eyes. I don't need to use the bathroom. Peter pushed me along with Mike. We know you don't. I was dragged to the hallway entrance beside a breezy windowsill and lazily leaned to the side. Warm sunlight fell over me, making my whole body feel cozy. I've been sensitive to the cold since I was little. The The classroom AC was too low, so the sunlight felt warm and comfortable. I slid down the wall into a corner, squatted there, and dozed off. A few minutes felt like 2 hours. "Lucy, why did you come out?" Tom was still holding a piece of paper, thinking Lucy was going to the restroom, but she stopped at the door. I came out for some air. Lucy held a bottle of water, one hand about to twist the cap, while her gaze drifted toward the windowsill. Tom followed her gaze. "Lucy, there's a guy over there. Maybe don't stare at him. Class starts in 3 minutes." He had barely finished speaking when Tom had already vanished. Lucy strode up to me and a large shadow fell over my eyes. I had already sensed someone there and thought it was Peter. I waited for them to move, then rubbed my eyes and stood up. I stayed up until 3 watching videos last night. I'm so sleepy now, I'll sleep in the back next class. As I rubbed my eyes and stood, the person in front of me was tall and wearing a black short-sleeved t-shirt. Before I even lowered my hand, I knew it definitely wasn't Peter or Mike. I instinctively shifted to the side. "Why are you here?" The words had barely left my mouth when I noticed the water in her hand. If this were before, I would have nagged her again, telling her not to drink ice water because it was bad for her stomach. Lucy gently handed the tissue in her hand to me. I didn't react at first. Then I touched my forehead, realized I was sweating, and took the tissue to wipe it off. Lucy had just made a sound when I saw Peter and the others come out, so I waved and called out, "I'm over here!" Lucy lowered her head and watched me. She had clearly seen that I noticed the ice water in her hand, but I didn't say a word. Not one extra word. I didn't even look at her again. When she turned toward the hallway, I had already gone back into the classroom with my friends. Tom hurried out of the restroom, saw the water in Lucy's hand, and